Welcome to 1851's video series. We're here with Robert from Famous Toastery, and if you haven't seen his videos, go to famoustoastery.1851franchise.com. I want to talk about the next wave of candidates, and we'll use a brand, and I want you to introduce a brand that has produced a candidate who's interested in your brand. So another brand, say McDonald's. Why would someone in the McDonald's system, or say a Boomerang former franchisee who got out of a system, be so interested in the better breakfast segment?
Well, for some of the obvious reasons, it's the most untapped. It's got the most opportunity than anything out there when it comes to food. What people forget is that breakfast is a habitual thing. So not everyone eats Indian, not everyone eats burgers, but everyone eats breakfast. Whether it's granola, whether it's pancakes, whether it's eggs, people eat breakfast every day, and it's habitual. So by default, you find people that are coming in more than once a week. Whereas in other brands, they may come once a month. I love Indian food, but I can eat it probably once or twice a month. I love burgers, but I can't have a burger every day. I eat breakfast every day. And that's, just from basic math, you see that there's a lot of opportunity. Plus the fact that no one's really doing it. There's no McDonald's of this business. There's no Subway of what we do. It's better breakfast. The biggest competitor has 150 units. That's nothing when it comes to a country with well over 320 million people. So there's a lot of stores that can be open and a lot of opportunity that we can bring, because it's not just a fact of a good restaurant. It's also the opportunity that we can bring to a town that's never seen what we do, which is exciting.
So you and I have talked about volumes of the restaurant, and for those of you who are watching this, if you want more information, you're going to have to be disclosed through the FDD. But we've talked about the volumes of the restaurants, and they're somewhat strong for having limited hours. Yeah. Has McDonald's missed the boat by saying we want to do breakfast all day? Have you nailed something that they haven't figured out yet because of the volumes that you're seeing out of these restaurants?
Well, look, McDonald's is they're a behemoth. They have a whole different way of doing things, and you can't compete. But what it's telling you is, their shareholders are saying we need more money, let's go to breakfast, right? So just by reading any basic paper, you see the McDonald's is doing, and they're doing pretty well with their breakfast. But that's not our customer. But it's also saying that breakfast is really hot because the biggest franchise in the world is doing their best business on it. So what people start to realize as they talk to us, is as they come to the restaurant, is it's the antithesis of a greasy spoon. So we all know about the greasy spoons. This is the other side. So who would have thought you can get a fresh lobster roll or lobster scramble at a place and get it in multiple places? It's not just that one-off in New York City anymore. It's nationally. And I think that's the difference that we bring that others don't, and why it is so, why it's been so successful.
So flash forward into the future, and QSR as a category is somewhat hot for those that are looking to get into franchising. So two-part question. One, talk about how much it costs to open up a Famous Toastery. And second, could this turn into that next brand that the QSR guys that built up a nice portfolio are interested in because of the depth of menu, and that maybe they're craving a little bit more than just standard food that would be in a QSR?
Well, I love that question because I'll answer it in a couple ways. I believe that at the people's soul, they want to be served. So QSR is great, but personally, I like to be able to sit down, relax, get my meal, and go. I don't like jockeying for tables. I don't like having a meeting somewhere and not knowing if I'm going to be able to sit or standing there waiting for someone to leave. We believe that service part is a big deal for us. We have no interest in the QSR. It does well. People have done very well in it. But we are seeing that the limited hours, when we go up against QSRs, we do bigger unit volumes in 8 hours than they do in 14 or 16 hours, and we're home by 4 o'clock. And that's huge. You don't get that time back. We all have the same amount of time, whether you have $1 in the bank or $100 million in the bank. So time equals money, and time equals family, and time equals time with other people. And you get that with us.
Talk about the investment level. Compare a Famous Toastery to, say, an average QSR.
So there's QSRs out there that would cost $1 million to open and would do an average unit volume of 1.1 million, right? So for us to open, it can be anywhere in our FTD. It would be anywhere from 490 to a little over 800,000 to open a store. But our unit volumes are much higher than that. So just from a ratio perspective, on paper, as an accountant, you're going to go, well, that's a better system to run because I can make more money with less investment. Check, right? Then you can make more money and be home by 3 o'clock. Check. Now you can get better real estate. You're in a brand that's growing. There's not a lot of competition. It is the perfect storm. It won't last forever. Talk in 5 years, there's going to be a lot of these brands, but he who's first wins. And as you get into these spots and you open stores, you start to see, you set the tone, you set the market. We all can agree that McDonald's is probably not the best hamburger you've ever eaten, but it's the most eaten hamburger in America. So there you go.
Thanks for watching. That's a little bit more information on Famous Toastery. Be sure to go to famoustoastery.1851franchise for more information. Thanks.